Michigan Mosque and the Imams. Well, it's interesting to just take a little bit of an international view. There were 3 attacks in London earlier this year. Well, it would have been last year now. Cars were on the. There was an attack of a vehicle attacked people on the famous London Bridge. 3 men got out of the vehicle and began to stab people, and 7 people were dead. One of these people was directly connected with an imam in Michigan. So there's a Dearborn imam. There's evidence in the police reports in England that an imam in Michigan was generally radicalizing one of the 3 gentlemen, and that there was communication about the attack, and that the attack was partially triggered by this gentleman right here. His name is Sheikh Jibril. He's a well-known member of the community in Michigan, and he has videos, and he indoctrinates people in the mosque and also internationally with his preaching. He's preaching Sharia. The person who gave this evidence to the police was quoted in the various articles. He reported the radicalization of one of the 3, and the police did nothing, and then the attack took place. ISIS claims support. So again, this is a direct connection between an imam in Michigan, his radicalizing of individuals, and ISIS. These are the people that died. These are dead people. They were alive, now they're dead. Why? Because of a jihad attack. Remember, there are a lot of people that play games with words. They play a game, they try to redefine what jihad is. We're going to call jihad what it is. It's mass murder. It's a crime. We have an honor-killing case in Michigan, and of course the honor-killing case in Michigan can be associated with a mosque. The mosque is in Canton. There's a specific imam. So as you might have been following, the woman in Farmington Hills who was found at the bottom of a balcony or a window, dead, the police have investigated only a single person. They've acknowledged they have not talked to anybody but the 15-year-old son. Well, the 15-year-old son is accused of killing the mother. Originally, it was an accident. Then he was accused of pushing her, and now there's plenty of evidence that she was dead in the house before any descent out of a window or a balcony. So there's been 3 different stories. The point is, this is a family that was having domestic problems. This was a Middle Eastern family. They were in America. The woman had become westernized to the point where she realized she could get a divorce in America. And she was about to take a deposition. The week before the deposition, she was murdered. There's clear evidence of this being an honor violence situation, which means the father was involved, the rest of the family was involved, and the imam was likely involved, because that's how it works. If you bring dishonor to the family, you bring dishonor to the community, to the imam, to the mosque. It's a community, it's a decision with multiple people. That's not how the police are prosecuting it, apparently. They think the 15-year-old son just killed the mother. My point is, these are mosques, these are imams, this is communication. There's lots of other people in that same mosque being infected by the Sharia mentality that could have led to this. We have a female genital mutilation case that the country is watching in Michigan. You're familiar with it. Children were brought into Michigan over a period of time for a doctor to deliver female genital mutilation. Again, this is a mosque. The mosque is a specific mosque in Michigan. The interesting thing is, the woman is directly connected to the mosque. Her husband is a leader at the mosque. He's the treasurer of the mosque. So there was a tight connection, again, between the perpetrator and the mosque. It isn't clear, again, to what degree the police are investigating the mosque and trying to uncover other people that might be impacted. Here's another mosque. You might recognize this one. It's in, I believe it's in Warren, Michigan. I think it's on 12 Mile. This is the Darul Uloom Mosque. It used to be a used car dealership, but it's a mosque now. This is, by the way, this is a phenomena that we see happening where parts of shopping centers are taken over. The reason it's interesting is this organization are part of the Deobandi network. These are Pakistani folks. They're in America. Internationally, they are extremely prone to violence. In fact, this is the network of mosques that produced people, the person who went in San Bernardino and killed people at a Christmas party, and the murder of 49 people in a nightclub in Orlando. It's the same mosque. I'm just pointing out it isn't clear that police are in any way trying to surveil this mosque or understand what goes on in this mosque. Once again, under the First Amendment, the tendency is to stay away, when in fact the tendency should be to get trained so you can make intelligent decisions about probable cause to investigate further. This is a mosque that's very close to my home. This is the Islamic Association of Greater Detroit. It's a beautiful building. It's on Auburn Road. They're expanding the mosque. Why are we even talking about it? Well, this mosque on its board has a gentleman by the name of Dr. Jukaku. I don't know if you know that name, but he was the president of CARE Michigan. Hopefully you realize that the Holy Land Foundation trial established the fact that people in America were raising money to send to Hamas. Hamas is a worldwide designated terrorist organization. They kill people, primarily Jewish people in Israel. So this is the Palestinian organization. CARE, in fact, was formed in the 1990s as an extension of an organization committed to supporting Hamas. They are part of the Muslim Brotherhood. Michigan is one of the strongholds. Back again now, the board member of the mosque is former president of CARE Michigan, Muslim Brotherhood, still a member of the board of CARE Michigan. The reason we're talking about him is he has a famous son-in-law. His son-in-law, his name is Abdul El Sayed. Abdul is running for governor. And so this is a magazine that I believe you may have seen that just came out. The front cover is a picture of Abdul. The title is, "Can a Political Rookie from Michigan Become America's First Muslim Governor? Why Abdul's Run for Governor is Real." So Abdul is connected to the father-in-law. Abdul, by the way, was the vice president of the Muslim Student Association at the University of Michigan. Muslim Student Association is one of the named front groups for the Muslim Brotherhood. By the way, this is all in the documentation that was entered into the trial. We're going to talk about in a minute something called the Explanatory Memoranda, which is the plan in the 1990s for the Muslim Brotherhood in America to erase America. It's in the court cases. It's part of the files of the Department of Justice. So CARE, Muslim Student Association, ISNA are all documented front groups for the Muslim Brotherhood. Other countries have declared the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. The United States of America has not. Back to Abdul. Abdul was a keynote or a featured speaker at the CARE, Muslim Brotherhood, convention in October of this year. So Abdul is openly Sharia compliant, openly connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. There's no hesitation on that. Why? Because the Muslim Brotherhood have penetrated Washington, D.C. and Lansing to the point where it's okay. This gentleman is also in favor of Sanctuaries state for Michigan, and he's a very, very serious candidate to be the next Democratic candidate and maybe even the governor of Michigan, so you need to take it seriously. This is a connection with one of the mosques. Imagine what the people in the mosque in my town are talking about. The father-in-law is on the board of that particular mosque. So these mosques are not removing themselves from the Muslim Brotherhood. They're proud of their association. The Muslim Brotherhood's commitment in America is to spread Sharia across America and eventually destroy America's Constitution. We're just saying what they say. It's what people don't want to hear. As the pastor said, this is the truth. It's documented. It comes from their words, their documents, and there are a lot of people who are afraid of the truth. You might remember a movie. Somebody said, "You can't handle the truth." I think that might have been, I don't remember which movie, but it's clear that there's a lot of people that can't handle the truth. I want you to look at the person next to Abdul. That's Sahib Webb. He's an imam, so he gets up and speaks when Abdul sits down. What's his background? You're going to see him later. I'll tell you the story now. He was the imam in the mosque in Oklahoma City, where the gentleman who went to the mosque decided to behead a woman in Oklahoma. We had our beheading 4 or 5 years ago. It was associated with the mosque where this gentleman was the imam. He got promoted. He's now the imam of the Boston Islamic Center, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. This gentleman is a scholar for the American the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America. He lives in Grand Blanc. He's an imam in Grand Blanc. This is the senior level jurist, like the Supreme Court of Sharia. They declare, interpret what is Sharia, what is not, and they issue fatwas. We've had a speaker at some of our meetings where was a woman who has a fatwa on her life because she left Islam. So this is serious stuff. So we have experts in Sharia right here in Michigan. Here's another Michigan mosque. One of the things we're going to talk about that the officers in the police training are trained in is whether or not women are treated as property. That's a very strong indicator of Sharia compliance, which you'll see is an indicator of a propensity to violence. So this is a mosque. We took this picture. That's Gary's car. We took this. There's a women's entrance. The women are separated from the men in the mosque. They have to go through a separate door, and of course, they're not allowed to pray together. Another indication is a mosque. I think this is in Sterling Heights or Warren. Maybe it's Warren. It's called the Iona Mosque, Islamic Organization of North America. They've got a flashing neon sign that says, Sharia is just normal. It's just like everything else. Their sign reads, you can't see it probably, it says, Moses, Abraham, Jesus, and Muhammad, one message, one God. This is, I think, maybe on Ryan Road. In any event, this is part of civilization jihad. It's all normal. Multiculturalism, diversity, it's all the same. There is no difference between Islam and Christianity. That's their message, and it's right out there. So my point is, we are living under Sharia in terms of the way people behave in their homes, in their mosques, and even amongst us, and we just need to realize that.